The Supreme Court on Thursday reserved judgment in the appeal by Governor ABBA Yusuf of Kano State, challenging the ruling of the appeal court that sacked him from office. The Justice Young Okoro-led 5-member panel of judges reserved their decision after hearing closing arguments from both parties. Yusuf at the New Nigeria People's Party had filed an appeal against the Court of Appeal's November 17th ruling, which declared the candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Yusuf Gawuna, as the winner of the March 26, 2023 governorship poll. Reports have it that Yusuf, whose sacking by the Electoral Tribunal was upheld by the Court of Appeal, vowed to reclaim his mandate at the Supreme Court. The appeal court sitting in Abuja upheld the ruling of the tribunal that sacked Yusuf and declared Gawuna of APC as the winner of the March 18th election. The tribunal, led by Justice Oluyemi Osadebe, had nullified this election of Yusuf by declaring 165,663 of his votes invalid. The tribunal held that the ballot papers were not signed nor stamped by the Independent National Electoral Commission. Displeased by the tribunal verdict, Yusuf appealed against the judgment. Delivering the judgment on the matter on Friday, the appeal court held that Yusuf was not qualified to contest the election. The 3-member panel, led by Justice M.A. Adume, held that Yusuf was not in the membership register of his political party. Citing a provision of the Electoral Act, he said a party must have the names of its registered members both in hard and soft copies. He also said that Yusuf did not put up any resistance against the allegation. If you claim you are a member of a party, it's not logical to say so yourself rather than by proxy, the judge asked. He said Section 134 of the Electoral Act allowed the court to entertain an averment on the qualification of a candidate in an election. However, at the proceeding on Thursday, Yusuf's counsel, Wole Olanikpekun San, urged the court to set aside the decision of the appeal court and tribunal. He asked the apex court to determine whether or not the guidelines of INEC would be a basis for nullifying the election victory of his candidate who won the election by a margin of over 100,000. Olanikpekun argued that this is the first time in the annals of electoral jurisprudence that an election was nullified on the grounds that ballot papers were not signed or stamped at the back. He said INEC guidelines do not emphasize that the courts would nullify an election on the basis of INEC purportedly failing to stamp ballot papers on the back. The lawyer also faulted the decision of the appeal court on its verdict on ABBA's membership of the NNPP. He said the judgment of the lower courts is very unfair to the appellant, and we urge your lordship to overturn it. The issue of ABBA's membership of the NNPP is a pre-election matter. The appellate court lacked jurisdiction to entertain the matter. In another news, the federal government on Thursday confirmed the commencement of operations at the Port Harcourt Refining and Petrochemical Company in Rivers State. It announced that the facility commenced operations on December 20th, 2023, as the first phase of work at the plant had been completed, adding that refined petroleum products would start flowing from the refinery after the Christmas break. The government had earlier in the year repeatedly stated that the Port Harcourt Refinery would begin operations before the end of 2023. The Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Oil, Senator Henken Lokobiri, who led members of the refinery's steering committee to inspect the facility, congratulated the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and Nigerians in general for the feat. Nigeria's refineries in Port Harcourt, Kaduna, and Warri have been dormant for decades as the federal government has spent several billions of naira to revamp the facilities. The meeting today coincides with the commencement of operations at the Port Harcourt Refinery, Lokobiri stated at the refinery. He added, "This is to announce to Nigerians that in fulfillment of our pledge to complete Phase 1 of the Port Harcourt Refinery by the end of 2023 and the subsequent streaming of Phase 2 in 2024, we happily announce the mechanical completion of flare startup on December 20th, 2023. In Ondo State, a legal practitioner and chieftain of the All Progressives Congress in Ondo State, Mr. Shola Ajisafe, has warned the state acting governor, Lucky Ayedatiwa, against reshuffling the cabinet of Governor Rotimi Akeredolu. Ayedatiwa became the acting governor of the state after Governor Akeredolu returned to Germany for another medical vacation and transmitted power to him in an acting capacity last week. Ajisafe, who spoke on a radio program in Akure, the state capital, on Wednesday, said there was an indication that Ayedatiwa was planning to reshuffle the state executive council to favor his supporters in the government, but warned him against such planned action. According to the APC chieftain, such action would be contrary to the agreement reached with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu during the peace meeting held in Abuja with the gladiators. He said Section 190 of the Constitution doesn't give the deputy governor the power to reshuffle the cabinet. The section gives the acting governor the right to act on behalf of the governor and not to override the decisions of the governor. There can't be two governors at the same time. The legal practitioner stated that the first time President Tinubu summoned the gladiators to Abuja, there was no effort on the part of the acting governor as the leader of the state to reconcile all warring factions. Rather, some non-state actors were protesting to demand the resignation of Governor Akeredolu. Ajisafe said, these non-state actors are the people who are not seen when they are needed, but always come when their services are needed. One of the 27 People's Democratic Party lawmakers at the Rivers State House of Assembly who defected to the All Progressives Congress, Enemy George, has vowed not to return to his former party. George, who made this known while speaking on a television program, Politics Today, on Wednesday, explained that 27 of them who moved to the APC were committed to supporting President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda. According to the lawmaker, they all found President Tinubu worthy of their support after giving him their ballots at the presidential poll. We have crossed the Rubicon. We have moved to the APC. We voted for the president. If we find Mr. President worthy of our votes, then I think we should find him worthy of our support. We have moved over to join his renewed hope agenda, to work hands in gloves with him to ensure that the expectations of Nigerians are fulfilled, Judge said. Lagos reopens third mainland bridge. The Lagos state government has announced that the third mainland bridge will be reopened by 6 p.m. on Thursday, stating that the bridge is now fully accessible to the public. This was disclosed in a statement by the state's Commissioner for Transportation, Oluwaseun Osiemi, on Thursday. The statement read, "We are pleased to announce that parts of the third mainland bridge, which were closed last month, will reopen today, 21st December 2023, by 6 p.m. Following the essential maintenance, the entire bridge is now fully accessible to the public, ensuring smoother connectivity and safe commuting. We appreciate your patience during the temporary closure and understand the inconvenience it may have caused. The reopening reaffirms our commitment to infrastructure, upkeep, and public safety. We wish you a joyful holiday season and safe travels."